Finally, my friends, the Heaven Saga of Knights of the Zodiac is about to begin. This is the canonical saga where Athena and her knights will face the gods of Olympus. The author Masami Kuramada announced that Chapter 1 will be published in May of this year, marking a historic milestone for Knights of the Zodiac. Hello, Knights and Amazons. Welcome to the channel. Always wanted to know, I'm Wes, and today I'm going to tell you how Seiya might awaken his memories in Chapter 1 of the Zeus Saga. Go ahead and comment where you're watching this video from and what your theories are for the Zeus Saga. Like, subscribe, turn on the bell, and let's start this awesome video. To understand the weight of this new beginning, we need to put into context where our heroes are. In the events shown in Saint Seiya Den, we were taken to Greece. Seiya, Saori, and Shun are there, around the sanctuary. But there is a gap between them, the lack of their memories. That's because, at the end of the Next Dimension saga, Apollo erased the memories of Athena and her bronze saints. It's important to remember that Athena's sanctuary has been the center of Earth's protection for millennia, located in a remote region of Greece. And in the series mythology, this place was built in the mythological era to serve as a base for the 88 saints. In this setting, we see Seiya as an ordinary young man. He doesn't remember the battles in the 12 houses, much less the Temple of Poseidon or the battle against Hades. He's just a young man. Walking on the sacred grounds, Saori and Shun are also there, living their lives that seem disconnected from their glorious past. This collective amnesia was a punishment, a form of mercy. After the chaos caused in the Next Dimension saga, the wind blows strongly on the Greek hills. Seiya passes by Saori and Shun. They cross paths like strangers. However, fate, or perhaps the very cosmos that resides within them, forces a meeting. Saori's hat is carried away by a sudden breeze. Saori, moved by an instinct she doesn't fully understand yet, begins to climb the stairs of the 12 houses. This path is iconic. Each zodiac house represents one of the signs of the ecliptic, and climbing these steps is, symbolically, a journey of purification and spiritual ascension. As she climbs, the proximity to Athena's temple, located in Cumae, begins to react with her divine essence. The memories of Saori Kido, the reincarnation of the goddess Athena in this era, begin to flood her mind. When she arrives at the house of Sagittarius, she begins to remember that she is not just a girl, but the deity who chose to love humanity. Above her own Olympian lineage, she also finds the goddess's arrow in the ruins of the house of Ophiuchus, and the god Apollo senses the awakening of Athena's cosmos. This is the end of the mini-saga called Saint Seiya Den, which marks the beginning of the Zeus saga. And that's why now I'm going to tell you what might happen in the first chapter of the official Zeus saga. Seiya, driven by his inherently kind and helpful nature, follows the traits that have always defined the Pegasus Knight. Since his childhood at the Children of the Stars orphanage, he decides to retrieve that girl's hat and return it to the young woman. He doesn't know why, but he feels he needs to deliver that object. He starts climbing the sanctuary. For Seiya, those stairs should be exhausting, but his body, trained under the rigorous teachings of Marin of Eagle, seems to recognize that terrain. His muscles have memory. Even though his mind is clouded, he passes through the ruins of the houses of Aries, Taurus, and Gemini. Each step taken is a step toward his tragic destiny of reaching the vicinity of Athena's temple. Seiya is surprised. The air there is different and is filled with a crushing pressure, something that the knights call cosmos. Up there, he sees Saori, but she is not alone. In front of her, surrounded by an unbearable aura of light, is Apollo. Apollo, in the chronology of Saint Seiya, is one of the most powerful gods of the Olympian pantheon. He is the god of the sun, light, prophecy, and the arts, brother of Artemis and son of Zeus. Unlike other gods who seek the destruction of Earth, Apollo often appears as a strict judge of humanity, considering mortals as insignificant beings who dare to challenge the natural order of the universe by raising their hands against the gods. His armor shines with a golden intensity. Apollo sensed Athena's awakening. He is there to confront his sister. He doesn't understand why she insists on mingling with humans, beings he considers cosmic dust. The discussion is tense. Apollo scolds Athena for her weakness and for causing so much discord in Olympus. While she protects Seiya and the others, it's at this moment that Seiya intervenes. Not knowing who that being is, but realizing that he's threatening the woman to whom he just returned the hat, Seiya steps between the two. Apollo barely glances at the sun god. The presence of a human there is a direct offense to his holiness. He looks down on Seiya with pure disdain, treating him like an insect crawling in that sacred place. Get out of here, filthy human. Apollo's words are like shockwaves, but Seiya does not back down. The spirit of Pegasus, the knight who wounded the bodies of gods since the mythological era, begins to burn inside him. Even without armor, even without knowing what the cosmos is, Seiya's life energy begins to vibrate. Seiya attacks. It's a raw move, charged with an unshakable will. Apollo, with a simple movement, throws Seiya to the ground. The impact is violent, the ground shatters. Any ordinary human would be dead with all their bones broken. But Seiya gets up. Apollo is slightly surprised. He knocks Seiya down again, and once again the young man gets up. It's Pegasus's main characteristic. Infinite resilience? He's the man who never accepts defeat as long as there's a spark of life. For the third time, Seiya rises, and something extraordinary happens. Automatically, his arms start tracing the Pegasus constellation in the air, his fist moves at an incredible speed, and he unleashes the Pegasus Meteor Fist. Hundreds of punches per second turn into beams of light. Apollo, who didn't expect a technical reaction from an empty human, is caught by surprise. One of those meteors manages to break through the divine defensive barrier and scratches the face of the sun god. Silence falls over the sanctuary. The golden blood, the color of the gods, lightly trickles down Apollo's cheek. Seiya looks at his own hands. They are trembling and surrounded by a blue aura. He doesn't know what he did. He doesn't know the name of that technique, but his body executed it with the perfection of 1,000 battles. Athena, seeing the scene, falls into despair. She knows that Apollo, in his fury, can erase Seiya's existence in the blink of an eye. "Stop, Seiya, don't fight anymore," she screamed. Seiya then stops, looks at her confused, breathing heavily. "How do you know my name?" he asks. His voice is filled with a deep strangeness, as if he were hearing his own name for the first time in centuries. Saori approaches, tears running down her face. She repeats, "Seiya, please." Hearing that, Seiya says Saori's name. A floodgate breaks inside his mind. It's as if a cascade of memories explodes. Images of gold armors, the shine of divine armors, the heat of the sun in the sanctuary, and the darkness of the underworld pass before his eyes. In a split second, he remembers the sacrifice of the gold knights at the Wailing Wall. He remembers crossing the hyperdimension. He remembers the pain of Hades' Zord piercing his chest. And above all, he remembers his purpose to protect that woman. No matter the cost, Pegasus comes to his senses. Seiya's cosmos, which was once a small and instinctive flame, explodes into a pillar of light that reaches the heavens, signaling to everyone and to all the other knights scattered around that humanity's greatest protector has awakened. Seiya's gaze changes. Confusion gives way to the fierce determination that made even the Emperor of the Underworld tremble. The Saga of the Heavens then officially begins, and Apollo now faces not just a human, but the Knight of Hope. Did you like the theory, my friends? Seiya's awakening before Apollo is a victory of human will over divine imposition. The Saga of Zeus, or the Saga of the Heavens, promises to raise the power level to heights never seen before, exploring what happens when the gods decide that humanity no longer deserves their protection. This first chapter, as we imagine it here, would be the perfect trigger. Seiya's reunion with his memories through the name of Saori. It's a tribute to the whole story of loyalty and the platonic love that has driven the series since the 80s. So, what did you think of this theory? Do you believe that the confrontation between Seiya and Apollo will be the starting point for the defeat of Olympus? Leave your opinion in the comments, because I really want to know what you expect from this new Saint Seiya arc. And of course, thank you for watching this video until the end. And see you next time. Burn your cosmos to infinity.